The Nets in their road red as we get set for the opening tip. Nets at 3-29. They do come off the win over the Knicks the other night to stop a 10-game losing streak. And Harris is hit, blocked by Mo Williams. And now they call it the other way. It is on Lopez away from the ball. So the Cavaliers in possession. Williams guarded by Harris. Douglas Roberts opens up against LeBron James. And here is Shaq going at Lopez, and he lost the dribble out of bounds.
Well, they've developed a routine, Cleveland, where they start out the game, and you're going to see maybe 6 out of the first 7 times down the floor, the ball will go in for Shaquille O'Neal. And as Mike Brown mentioned before the game, we don't need Shaq to get 20 and 10 for us to be a good team. We just need him to be big at the right times.
Here is Lopez, and it's very important for the Nets for Lopez to hit that perimeter shot against Shaquille O'Neal, who does not come out frequently. Nice play. Hickson lost it, and then it's blocked. Blocked by E. Cannot put it down, and rebounded by Harris.
That's probably the best example I've seen of the size of the two big people. Lopez running, and right there after the lob pass, you see Devin Harris follow back up. But that last series of defensive plays between E and Brook Lopez, sensational protecting the rim.
Jack able to get inside.
When you lob, okay, over the top, that means your center defensively has gotten too high, and that's where that lob came from. They were counting on a guard to come from the weak side, the Nets, to steal it, and that's difficult to do.
Courtney Lee guarded by Anthony Parker. Here is E, who has played very well since his return. Harris, Lopez spinning his way. Nicely done. Brook Lopez with the spin move going right at Shaquille O'Neal.
Outside of the transition opportunities, you see the game plan by both coaches. Start out by going to the inside, obviously trying to put a couple fouls on the opponent. And Lopez has to be smart now with his defense. Hickson.
Nets do not mind seeing Hickson shoot the ball from the perimeter. Here's Harris, beautifully done again by the Nets at the offensive end. Harris protecting it as he was able to get the step on Williams.
Yeah, he just froze at Mo Williams. It came at him so hard. Williams needed help from his perimeter guys, and he had none there.
There is Williams firing away. Rebounded by E. The other night against the Knicks, the Nets with 60 points in the paint, all 5 starters in double figures. Once again, the Nets are back to their starting lineup. E off the mark, rebounded by James. And here is LeBron, draws the foul on his first field goal attempt.
Well, he's like a runaway locomotive. You try to square him up. He loves coming back to his left hand, finishes extremely well, and he's so strong. He takes on 2 and 3 defenders at a time, initiates contact, and gets to the free throw line. You mentioned 16 free throw opportunities last game for him.
14 out of 16, a 78% free throw shooter on the season. Chris Douglas Roberts picking up that foul. LeBron averaging, as you see, just under 29 a game, which is 3rd in the NBA.
I mean, all great scorers seem to have a knack for getting to the free throw line, and they're always around 8 to 10 free throw attempts per game, and then they learn if they want to be a big-time scorer, they've got to make their free throws.
Hickson picking up Harris on a switch, and that's a travel. Harris trying to throw a fake at Hickson, who did not go for it. So the ball back to the Cavaliers. This past Wednesday night at home, Cavs beating Atlanta in the second of a home-and-home. Swept by the Cavaliers. The game that saw LeBron put up 48. He's feeling for Douglas Roberts. Pops it back out. Williams faking on a 3. Nice pass inside. Hickson could not handle it.
Hickson wanted to pass to Shaq before he actually caught the ball. He took his eyes off it and lost it.
The other concern here for the Nets, and there are many against the Cavaliers, the sensational three-point shooting of Cleveland. They're second in the NBA, right behind Phoenix at 42% from downtown.
Imagine that problem trying to draw up a defensive game plan as Lee misses his version of the teardrop. You've got to get out to the three-point line, defend them, chase them off it, and yet protect the front of the rim. Not easy to do.
Hickson is now played by Lopez. Hickson goes at him, trying to twist his way in, rebounded by Harris. Hickson worked his way into the starting lineup earlier this season, and Devin Harris able to knock it down. So the Nets with an 8-3 lead here in the early moments. Now Lopez is back on Shaq. Williams off the dribble with a nice move.
What happened is they changed the angle of the screen. E, the defender, that's what Devin Harris is talking to him about right now. E got up on one side of the screen. They changed the angle of the screen. He has to remember then to go to the other side of the screen to give Devin Harris that support.
Oh, nice look, Harris for Lopez, and Shaq was not looking in that direction. Lopez coming off a strong game the other night, 9 of 15, 21 points, 14 rebounds. James with the lead. Hickson, rebound E. Lee backs it up on Parker. Spins his way. Lopez, yes. Brook Lopez, 3 of 5, 6 points.
Unusual to see both big men standing out on the perimeter that time. Lopez actually had one more pass to his left to E if he wanted it.
Williams, and the long rebound is handled by Lee. One of the heroes of the win over Atlanta the other night. Anderson Varejao getting set to come on. E bottled up, and he's fouled by Hickson.
He's starting to understand it now. He's starting to understand that if you put it down, you're going to get guys running at you because you can shoot it. They leave their feet. Here comes the defenders. Fakes. They leave their feet. Initiates the contact. And liking the idea that, you know what, I can pick up some extra points by getting fouled, get to the line, make my free throw attempts.
Varejao coming on for Hickson. Bit of that foul. The other night against Atlanta, Varejao hit a three-point shot with 17 seconds remaining to break a tie game. And as it turns out, his first career three-pointer he had missed over the years, his previous 18.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas has made a number of three-pointers over the last couple of seasons, so he has taken over as he's a special private instructor behind the three-point line. Mentioned that to me prior to the game.
Yes. You two still talk, huh?
Still.
Shaquille O'Neal off the lob, and it apparently did not go in and bounced off the rim and carried out of bounds. The Nets have a 14-5 lead. We're halfway through the first. Here's Douglas Roberts coming up short.
Shaq got that arm up, got a piece, a long lead pass. There he is at the other end, LeBron James with the catch and finish.
For LeBron, his first field goal. Douglas Roberts played by James. Harris guarded by Williams. He set the pick. Here is E. Rebounded by Parker. Williams with beautiful spin, and he's fouled by Harris.
And Harris just did not need to reach in at the end, and it would have been fine. He would have had the basket maybe, but he wouldn't have picked up the foul. And watch this lob now. Shaq goes up, tries to finish, but the ball goes below the rim rather than in the rim.
Cavs off to a 3 of 11 start. LeBron James hitting on his only field goal attempt.
Well, LeBron James was out here prior to the game to do his normal pregame workout where he gets himself shots from all over different spots. They were 5 and 6 deep surrounding that end of the court, the fans watching him. He finished up by starting at the top of the circle, took one dribble, must have been 2.5, 3 feet above the rim, and dunked it. One of the little ball boys almost landed underneath him. I felt sorry for the youngster, but what a show he put on. He was dripping wet when he left the court.
And that is most unusual. Mo Williams, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, 89% for the season, 4th in the NBA, missing on both. However, it was last touch by the Nets. So the Cavaliers in possession. And here is Williams with the open shot, so he gets the 2.
Williams, a very, very good 17 to 20 foot jump shooter as well.
Oh, Williams has come on strong as of late after an erratic start. Harris using the screen is fouled. Williams battling past. Lopez made contact.
Between Devin Harris, Courtney Lee, Douglas Roberts, they have done a great job of learning how to move without the basketball after they hit their postman, Brook Lopez, and it's resulted in a number of easy layups. That time, an easy 12 to 14 foot jump shot for Harris.
7 points for Devin Harris. The Nets playing game 6 of a 7-game homestand. They have won 1 the other night against the Knicks, losing the other 4. Tuesday night they finish up against Milwaukee, followed by a 3-game road trip. Ilgauskas, who just checked in, is fouled by Lopez. So Zadrunas coming on for Shaq. E on the foul, not Lopez, so that's the first on E.
The Nets may have to, Marv, change their post defense on both Shaq and Zadrunas to not fronting them, depending on if they can get there in time with that weak side guy. But twice now they've been late getting there. One on Shaq, one on Z. And you know, there always, I felt, were certain guys in the league you couldn't front because they were too long. You threw the ball up high. Even before the defense could rotate and get there, they would catch it and have it up on the glass. Kevin McHale was one of those kind of guys.
Ilgauskas is 7'3", about 260 pounds, coming off the bench for the first time since back in 2002 with the addition of Shaquille O'Neal to the roster. Nets up by 5, just under 5 remaining in the first. Last touch by Parker of the Cavaliers.
So Zadrunas talking to Varejao about 2 big men crossing. Are they going to switch or not switch? And trying to get that straightened out.
Lead official Scott Foster indicating 12 remaining on the shot clock. Reason is it was off a hand. It was not kick ball. Nice backdoor pass for the reverse by Douglas Roberts. The assist for Lopez. James pushing it back against Douglas Roberts. Varejao picks him off. Parker kept the line by Varejao. Nice pass to James, who puts it down.
And that's the dunk I was mentioning prior to the game. He came right down the lane, same exact way, with a great finish by LeBron.
That's up 18-13. Off the weave. Harris has an open 3 and comes up short. Kept alive, though, by Douglas Roberts, and he pops it home. Nets now 8 of 15, 53% here at the start. Ilgauskas able to get inside on E.
See, he was fronting him again and never saw the ball go back to the top of the circle. They ran a lock and lob. Throw it back to the top. He lobs it over the top. No help there.
Nets about to make some substitutions. Keon Dooling, Josh Boone off the bench. Shot clock is at 7. Here's Lopez. Good job on a box out by Varejao. James pulls it up for 3. And away from the ball, an offensive foul is called on Ilgauskas.
Hooking that defender. Watch LeBron James as he dives the lane. What a finish. He sees Lopez coming, anticipates it. Up over the top of the rim.
Delonte West will check in for Mo Williams. And now Keon Dooling and Josh Boone are on the floor. So Josh Boone is back from that sore left knee and missed the previous 2 games. Douglas Roberts with that high dribble working on James and hits.
I would think right now that the Nets would be very happy with their execution at both ends of the floor. They've given up only 15 points to the Cavaliers. Cleveland averages just over 100 points per game. And they've scored 22 already against one of the better defenses in the NBA. Still 3 minutes to go.
James draws the double. Shot clock down to 5. Parker. The tip by Ilgauskas.
There's the size under the basket of Ilgauskas. He'll get 2 or 3 baskets a game, just not even hardly leaving his feet, just by taking that long arm and keeping the ball alive on the glass.
Nets with a 22-17 lead. Shot clock down to 6. They surround E and took the ball away. West trying to get it inside to James.
And James tried to seal Chris Douglas Roberts on his back right in front of the rim. The pass a little too long.
Cavaliers call for time, down by 5.
Lopez has gotten off to a very good start here, offensively showing his back-to-the-basket moves against Shaquille O'Neal, his ability to catch that lob and finish around the rim as good as anyone in the league. Then he shows us his step-away jump shot and an assist man as well, laying it on the floor for Chris Douglas Roberts.
Brook Lopez in that mid-December game against the Cavaliers, just 6 of 17, but finished with 22 points, 15 rebounds in his 40 minutes of play. Cavaliers have won the last 5 games against the Nets. The last net win against Cleveland was March 2008. Nets remain the same following the timeout. Nice pass to Chris Douglas Roberts. Got the step on LeBron James.
Twice he's beaten LeBron on backdoors. One from out of bounds, that time from the top of the circle. You saw LeBron kind of touch his chest and say, you know, my bad right there.
8 points for Douglas Roberts, 4 of 5 from the field. West now played by Harris. Varejao gives it right back. Shot clock at 7. Varejao on the lead from West.
Because Brook Lopez was so far off of him trying to help on LeBron's post-up that Varejao just dove to the front of the rim, got the return pass, and laid it up.
Anderson Varejao having his best season of the NBA. It's his 6th year. 27 years old, out of Brazil. Lopez over Varejao. 26-19 Nets with a minute remaining in the first. Nets do not mind seeing Varejao take the perimeter shot. West for 3. Douglas Roberts now played by West, who's a good defender. Beautiful move, though, by Douglas Roberts. Got the step, but it did not fall.
A little too hard because it was a great 2-for-1 situation. They would have gotten one more possession back again now after the Cavs are done.
And Varejao making his move on Lopez, who was called for the block. That's his 2nd foul.
And he's picked up 2 fouls, really unnecessary fouls in the game thus far. And he has to understand that you've got to be smart against a team like this and not give away easy fouls.
Lopez will come out. Tony Battie will check in. Trenton Hassel replacing Devin Harris. Just 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. Lopez sits down with 8 points. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, at the IZOD Center. Big crowd on hand for LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Shot clock is down to 3. Here's James on a fadeaway, way off. And it's a 24-second violation.
They pushed him to his left hand, the Nets. They got a lot of help from their big man, Josh Boone. They were daring LeBron to throw it back to Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and he didn't. Shot an air ball.
So the Nets have it with 11 seconds to go in this first quarter. Douglas Roberts works it down.
Right there. 11.
And the Cavaliers with a foul to give. It's 2 on Ilgauskas.
Ilgauskas grabbing the jersey of the screener as he was running up to set that sudden screen. He just grabbed onto it, held him a little bit. That's where the foul was called.
But it's early, still 4.7 remaining. Jamario Moon will come on for Zydrunas Ilgauskas. 4 7/10 seconds left in the first. Douglas Roberts will put it in play. Nets up by 7. Down to 2. Down to 1. Dooling gets it off a rainbow. Good first quarter for the Nets. They shoot 11 of 21. And with the 26-19 lead, matches their largest lead at the end.
Keep the team tight together. Gets both guys. Let them touch hands a little bit.
Very
There's
nice.
love once again on the bench. Sometimes you have to go above and beyond, and certain guys are willing to do that. Ray Ferralson, team guy.
Ray for showing his diplomacy. How about, as I mentioned, as we're headed to commercial, it shows why the Nets are 3 and 29. The 7-point lead matches their largest lead at the end of a first quarter this season. They had a 7-point edge on Golden State earlier in December. And the ball back to the Nets. No clear indication by the officiating crew. Looks like an offensive foul on O'Neal. That's the call. So Shaq has come on for Ilgauskas.
The official actually held up the wrong numbers on his fingers when he gave it to the table, and then he pointed out at Shaq and said, yeah, this is O'Neal.
And you hate when that happens. Douglas Roberts off to the good start. Now the Dooling fires a 3. He and Varejao chase it down, and Varejao, who is a master at coming up with loose balls, is able to pick it off.
Let's see if they go into Shaquille O'Neal now. With LeBron James off the floor, this is the time to give Shaq touches and get him opportunities.
Oh, Williams, who just returned, unable to hit. Hassel is on the rebound. Hassel played by West. Douglas Roberts guarded by Moon and is able to hit over. Mike Brown going to Jamario Moon at 6'8", 200 pounds with very long arms to see if he can put a stop to Douglas Roberts.
There's your post-up series for Shaquille O'Neal right now. They'll hit into the post, get to their spot-up areas. Shaq will read the defense. Mike Brown saying he's such a much better passer, Shaq O'Neal, baby. Much better passer than I ever thought he was. Mike's thinking about maybe moving him up more to that corner of the foul line area and then run some split games there where you create more room behind them, open up the basket a little bit.
Shaq now going against Tony Petit. Douglas, oh, what a pass from Douglas Roberts. A no look, and he had it threading to Petit.
Nice job that time by Chris Douglas Roberts of knowing exactly where his big man was and reading the defender of that guy.
Nets with the 30-21 lead. They'll continue to go to Shaq. See Dooling coming over to help. Shaq on a spin around Petit.
Imagine Petit giving up so much weight, has to lean so hard on Shaq to take away his left shoulder, and that jump hook that he leaned so much, Shaq felt it, just spun away from him.
Tony Petit is listed at 6'11", 240, but Shaq able to power his way. Here's Hassel getting inside, rebounded by O'Neal. 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. And again, they go to Shaq. Petit's going to need some help. Varejao on the handoff. Wild shot, rebounded by Petit. And a travel on Dooling as they trapped him. He had nowhere to go.
And when they were passing him the ball, it was a bad spot. Watch this pass go above Shaq's arm, past his ear almost. Watch. Right above the arm, past his ear. Shaq almost ducks away, thinking it's going to hit him in the head. A great pass by Chris Douglas Roberts. Shaq almost starts to pull his head away, thinking the ball's going to come and bounce off his face.
Rookie Terrence Williams coming on for Chris Douglas Roberts, who heard it from the crowd as he takes a seat. Varejao blocked by E. Kept alive, though. They have 10 on the shot clock. Here's E coming over to help, and that pass misfired. E moves it across.
Good job that time. Nets mixed it up a little bit defensively and caught Cleveland off guard.
E over Varejao. Moon slapped it to himself and brings it across. E fronting Varejao. Shaq is on the other side. They open it up. Williams with a bad pass. Picked up by Williams. Moon is back. Here's Williams going at him. Banks it and hits.
Got a friendly roll that time. Williams couldn't decide, should I give it up to my teammate who's running hard or take it myself, but attack the defense. He kept it in his hand. Made a good decision.
Nets have led all the way. They're now up 32-23. Shaq from the other side tried the teardrop and is fouled by Petit. Timeout, 4 minutes gone by. In the second, the Nets with a 9-point lead. Here's that move by Terrence Williams with the... How did you work that out?
I just minded my business.
Yeah. Nets have a 32-23 lead. 4 minutes gone by in the second. And Shaquille O'Neal at the line shooting only 47% thus far this season. So he has gone further down from his previous performances over his 17-year career. Last year is 59%. Shaq has won 4 NBA titles, 3 with the Lakers, 1 with Miami, 3 finals MVPs. Quiet from the Phoenix Suns. Minutes have been down. Starts every game. However, as you mentioned, Zydrunas Ilgauskas usually comes on, so Shaq's not getting the minutes that he had in the past, which you'd expect at 37 years of age. Here's Williams, and he's been off.
Hey, Shaq is averaging just over 22 minutes a game right now. He's averaging 10 and 7.
Here's Harris with the reverse English, could not put it down. But Mike Brown's point is, well, we want him ready for the playoffs. Here's O'Neal, and let's see what the call is. The basket counts, and a foul. It's one of those calls where you can say, well, it's a charge. No, it's a block. Let's see.
I'll tell you one thing.
I don't know.
Earlier this year, Marv, Cleveland at Miami, Quentin Richardson stepped in there and took that same charge. He wasn't the same for about 2 games after that. He went to the bench that game, returned only once briefly, didn't play anymore. In the next game, he was affected by Shaq running over him full speed.
And a 3-point play for O'Neal. Hassel on the foul. Looked like he was outside the restricted area, but they call it a block. 32-26. Nets with the lead. Harris played out a switch by Varejao, went for the fake, but Harris way off.
That's what happens. Cleveland eventually discourages you from getting to the rim. That's why they're ranked, at the top as far as defensive field goal percentage against opponents.
LeBron James is hit by E. Was able to shed the initial defender. So LeBron is back on the floor as E picks up his second. 2 apiece on E and Lopez. See LeBron just under 29 a game behind Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, followed by Kevin Durant, who has had a terrific season for Oklahoma City. How about the play of the Thunder as of late?
You remember Kiki Vandeweghe said when they came in to play the Nets, his statement was like, look, we're getting a team that's playing very well right now. They're on a roll, and they haven't lost. I mean, they just keep winning games right now, playing extremely confident.
The net lead is down to 4. And the call is away from the ball. It's an offensive foul. It is on Tony Petit.
Vandeweghe talking to the official about the fact that Petit just set a screen. Official saying no, he moved into the path of the defender. That's why he called the offensive foul.
Delonte West using the pick from O'Neal. Rebounded by Lee.
Marv, West seems to be the key guy for Cleveland. When he's playing at the top of his game as Battie faces up and misses that jumper. When he's at the top of his game, he takes the Cavalier team to a different level. Obviously, LeBron especially pump fakes and draws the foul, tries to get the three-point play, but it's West. He's the glue. He's the guy that defends so well, moves the ball, and makes open shots for him.
Delonte West back on the court these days, despite his legal problems, which became even more complicated, indicted by a grand jury in Maryland on a number of weapons counts stemming from an arrest following a traffic stop in mid-September. West in possession of 2 handguns and a shotgun. And on the subject of that, Peter Vesey had the report yesterday in the New York Post concerning Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton of the Wizards, with both of them allegedly drawing guns on each other during a locker room argument over a gambling debt. The NBA and the Wizards would only confirm that an investigation is taking place. It's being led by law enforcement, not the league. We'll get back to that in a moment. Timeout is called.
Always on the attack mode. His backdoor move against LeBron James has produced 2 baskets for him. And then his ever-improving perimeter game where he can come off that pick-and-roll screen and knock the jumper down. And then he's a point man as well, finding an open teammate under the basket with the assist. Chris Douglas-Roberts, 5 for 7 coming out of the gates right now in 15 minutes.
7-0 run for the Cavaliers. The Nets just 1 for the last 7 after starting out hitting 13 of 24 shots. Nets have led by as many as 9. Lee off the handoff is fouled by Varejao. So Brook Lopez is back on the floor. They go with the twin tower effect with Lopez and E. And Courtney Lee is at the line.
There's that same pass and cut move we said. Feed Lopez in the post, move without the basketball, quick handoff back. It's produced a number of easy scores and foul opportunities for the Nets.
I mentioned the Gilbert Arenas, Javaris Crittenton situation a moment ago. And Washington, D.C. has some of the most strict gun laws in the nation. The NBA's collective bargaining agreement allows for players to legally possess firearms, but prohibits that to take place at league facilities or when traveling, obviously, on league business. How do you react to this?
I think it's a sad situation. I mean, it is what a lot of our society is about right now, and unfortunately what's going to happen next for the league, we'll have those scanners that they're sending into all the airports. They're going to send scanners to every arena now, and they're going to make players go through the scanners if that's the case.
James on the follow, able to volleyball tap it home. And that's a sad situation, and I agree that probably will happen.
How else they're going to stop, you know, if players aren't going to monitor themselves and stop it. You've got this type. I mean, this could be a federal case because of the laws you mentioned in Washington, D.C.
And here's Lee on the drive. Beautifully done by Courtney Lee. And the NBA is not the only sport that has these issues. Here's the lead pass. Moon could not convert. And a foul is called. Harris on the run, and he is blocked.
Courtney smiling because he tried to get the 2 free throws out of it by getting it up there right away. But you see Courtney Lee pull the dribble back out, then he changes pace, drives right past Anderson Varejao.
Foul committed by Delonte West.
You see Harris look, he's trying to talk the official into giving him 2 free throw attempts because as soon as he saw the foul, he tried to get it up there.
Mo Williams has checked back in, replacing Jamario Moon. Lopez, nice drop step around Ilgauskas.
Trying to make Cleveland make a decision whether they want to come back hard on Lopez or not, or stay at home with their perimeter players. That time they stayed too much at home.
And the foul is called inside, away from the ball. It is on Douglas Roberts.
See Lopez there, splits the two big men. LeBron James trying to make a decision. Should I come down and double team him or stay with my guy? And then it was just a matter of Brook finishing with his left hand.
Nets now over the foul limit. LeBron James has enjoyed playing on this court, averaging better than 30 a game in his 10 games at the IZOD Center, just under 7 rebounds. Celebrated his birthday this past Wednesday night in the win over Atlanta with 48 points, a season high. Backdoor attempt there by Lopez, but a foul before the pass. Mo Williams picks up his second foul. Substitution being waved in as Anthony Parker comes back for Delonte West. West 0 for 2 in his 11 minutes of play.
And that's how Mike Brown judges his time. He watches what's going on. He's watching how he's performing. And he makes a decision whether to leave him, let him roll, or get him out of the game if it's not enough productivity for him.
Lopez thought that he was hacked. Sent that shot way off. Once again, it's Douglas Roberts defending on James. Here's Williams for 3. LeBron James, such an unselfish play. He does not force the issue, looks for the open man, and he found it.
Because Devin Harris had to be so concerned. He's so good at going left and getting to the basket. He came to help his teammate that left open to shoot.
He has not been able to hit that outside shot. Just under 3.5 remaining in the first half, and the game is tied at 37. Cavaliers have come back down by as many as 9. Here is James to the reverse. Oh, Varejao stole the rebound.
That's what Anderson Varejao does. He's just a thorn in your side the entire game because he does little things like that. He steps in and takes charges. He gets on the offensive board. All the small things that you have to do.
Nice spin by Harris, and the game is tied. Cavaliers had taken the lead for the first time tonight. Oh, James beats the Nets down court, and a beautiful skip pass thrown by Mo Williams.
Not many can throw that pass. Not many can run as fast as James can to catch up with it and then finish it.
Cavaliers back up by 2. Here is he getting inside. Nice move. Banks it home over Varejao.
Very difficult angle, too, on that bank shot. And, you know, Marv, it was almost like Mo Williams dared LeBron James to run that pass down. He laid it out so far in front of him that James still catches up to it and lays it in.
Game is tied at 41. They clear out the lane for LeBron. He finds Varejao again, lost his man.
Because you're paying, as a team, so much attention to LeBron, worried about giving help, you lose sight of your man. And the other Cavaliers understand now, if they move without the ball, he will get it to you in an open spot.
6.7 rebounds for Anderson Varejao. Lopez backs his way on a double team and had it slapped. And the question is, who touched it last? Last touch by the Cavaliers.
Watch this pass by Mo Williams. He puts it out in front of LeBron, right through 2 defenders, catches and finishes, and then LeBron also knowing exactly where his teammate is, over the top of his defender to Varejao for 2.
A look at today's team lead is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. A check of the all-star voting. At the guards, Dwayne Wade on top. Allen Iverson second. Is ridiculous.
What is going on there?
Well, people vote for their favorite
He was
players.
in the Western Conference when the year started.
Forget that. He hasn't played.
I understand that.
LeBron, no question about it, and Kevin Garnett, and then Dwight Howard with with Shaq. You can certainly argue against Shaq, but he's obviously very popular.
Why don't you tell him right now? He's here. Why don't you, if you want to argue with him? Oh, okay, well.
I mean, well,
when he goes by,
are you saying you are intimidated to tell players what you feel?
I'm not intimidated, no.
So why would you say that?
I said it to you.
No, but why would you even think that?
I don't think you would say it to him.
Brook Lopez certainly worthy, although the argument against Brook would be, hey, this team has won 3 games, lost 29, but he's had a terrific season. And that ball is deflected out. Last touch by the Cavaliers. Would you vote for Brook Lopez, even though his team has won only 3 games?
It's a tough call. It is.
No. Here's
let me finish what I was saying.
Diplomatic answer. We're not going to get an answer. I can see it coming. Get it.
His only bad stretch, really, is the games prior to the Knicks game when he bounced back and made their last win.
That's a short stretch.
That was his only very bad, 2 or 3 games. That was it. Otherwise, he's been very consistent.
But everyone has stretches.
Right. That's what I'm complimenting him on that.
So the answer is, would you vote for a player on a team that opened up 0-18?
Yes, I could vote for a player for a team. Yes, if the player was worthy of it, I could do that. Certainly could.
Just looking for an answer for a change.
I certainly could. Is that good enough?
Defensive 3 called on the Nets. Technical foul awarded, and Mo Williams, despite his difficulties at the line earlier, missing his 2 free throws, will go to the line. One of the best free throw shooters in the league. So the Cavaliers, with 59 seconds remaining in the first half, lead by 1. And here's Daniel Gibson, who has been out of the rotation despite the fact that he's been a successful 3-point shooter, coming on for the first time here this afternoon.
About 49% from the 3-point line for Gibson.
Tony Battie will come on for E. Kiki Vandeweghe looking to protect E, who has 2 personals. T is guarding Ilgauskas. And as James backs up, a terrific defensive play by Hassel, who stepped away, and it led to the travel.
Yeah, and LeBron complaining. He's trying to show the teeth marks, I think, of Hassel in his back that time when but nice job of Hassel breaking contact with LeBron, getting him to stumble off balance. And they're stopping right now for a blood rule in the league. That's what they're doing.
Looks like LeBron drawing some blood to the back of the uniform. That's the athletic trainer Max Benton. It's right on his right shoulder.
See if we see where the scratch takes place as he right there. That's where Hassel reached across to the right arm. LeBron feels it. He looks down, tries to show the official. How do you think that got there?
Well, stay tuned for Lexus at the half. Bob Lorenz back in our studio, and a Saturday afternoon session of Ask the Announcers.
Some good questions today. Very good. They've had time over the holiday to think of some outstanding questions.
In effect, you're telling us you got a peek at it?
I have seen them. I saw a preview of them. We had a lot to choose from. See, if they don't stop the bleeding, they cannot play the game. They have to stop, or he has to bandage it. And they may use a 20 right now to bandage it.
And the Cavaliers use a 20-second timeout. See, the blood is still coming out of the right shoulder, right below the tattoo. And Max Benton will go back to work.
Tuesday night on Yes, the Nets conclude this homestand when they take on the Bucks. Complete coverage starts at 7 with the Nets pregame. Then Ian Eagle and I have the call. Bucks, Nets. It all starts Tuesday at 7, only on Yes.
The Nets lost in Milwaukee back in mid-November. Chris Douglas-Roberts, incidentally, had a career-high 31 against the Bucks. So Brandon Jennings and the Bucks here on Tuesday night.
The next set of lining, the hat.
Say the New York, New Jersey area, which is a bit on the frigid side. Net ball. They are down by 1. It's like things have been repaired. LeBron James. They could go 2 for 1. Let's see. Lee. And it's an offensive foul.
Offensive foul, number 6,
Courtney Lee picks up his first.
You see the defensive rotation by Moon. He is clearly outside the restricted area. So it's a good call by the official. It becomes contagious when you have guys like Varejao who will take a charge. It becomes contagious with other teammates.
Here's James spinning his way on Boone. Boone played him well, rebounded by Hassel. And the Nets can hold for final shot of this first half. Nets have led most of the way. They're down here by 1. Final seconds of the half. Harris pulls it back, and it is an offensive foul.
It's the Michael Jordan play against Utah in the NBA Finals, where Jordan used that left hand to clear space from his defender and got that winning jumper off. People have talked about that since that day. Watch the left arm. Pushes Varejao away, steps back, the official right on top of it.
Second on Harris. Cleveland ball. 4.5 remaining in the half. Terrence Williams is checked back in for the Nets. Parker surrounded. Here's Parker from center court. Good half for the Nets. They're down by 1. Cavaliers, a team that has won 6 in a row, 11 of its last 12. They have the best record in the East. High Point men, 10 apiece for Douglas, Roberts, Lopez, and Harris, 15 for James. Bob Lorenz is next.
The 70 pounds in that area.
I see. Yeah. Well, according to Nets public relations man Aaron Harris, players' heights are actually, I guess, after the draft, they measure
them just then alone.
Right.
But then they don't do it again.
Right, and the weight is checked after training camp. So the weights they do.
No, it's not. If you're going to do the weight, why wouldn't you do the height again? Because a guy could grow a couple inches when he gets to the league.
Or could shrink.
Exactly.
Yes. But, you know, heights are often made up, particularly on the college level.
And then do you measure them with their sneakers on or with the sneakers off?
I think you have to standardize that throughout the league. As he rims out, and it's rebounded by O'Neal.
So you basically Williams. You're not happy with Aaron Harris. It doesn't sound like you're very happy with.
Yeah, blame it on Aaron. You deflect your unhappiness to me. That is so bad. You were complaining about Aaron and Gary Sussman earlier, and you try to deflect it on others. That's terrible. It's a 3-point Cavalier lead. And here is Hickson. DJ Hickson started the game, played only 7 minutes, with Varejao coming on. And the foul is called on Hickson.
Foul number 21.
All right, go to Zappos.com, Yes Network, to submit your questions for Ask the Announcers. And if your question is used on air, we'll send you a free $25 gift card to Zappos.com. Here is Devin Harris. So the net shooting has gone the other way after the good start. Aaron Harris is, as you know, just following orders. He's the guy who was asked to check the weights. That's a 3-point attempt. And Hickson is there for the follow. But you are trying to put all the responsibility on Aaron.
I have a lot of respect for Aaron Harris. He does an unbelievable
what you said earlier.
job.
No. Too late. Timeout is taken by the Nets. 20-second timeout, and we will stay right here.
You remember we talked about the rebound problems for the Nets. They were down 7, 23-17, and 6 of them were offensive rebounds. Well, here, Devin Harris is responsible for that block out. He was the guy closest to Hickson when the shot went up. You must turn, put a body on the guy next to you, not allow him to get a second shot opportunity.
Vanderweight, Del Harris talking to the Nets. You can get 2 tickets for the price of 1 when you buy a ticket to see the Nets matchup against the Pacers on Friday, January 15th. It's an 8 o'clock start. Buy one, get one free. McDonald's plans start at just $40. You can buy online at njnets.com or call 1-800-3-GO-NETS. Nets back to their starting lineup. Lee and Harris at the guards. E with Lopez and Douglas Roberts. And you can see how the Cavalier defense has tightened up. E off the fake. Has not been able to hit the outside shot.
Yeah, and right now is one of those times in a game where you've got to get defensive stops. You have to find a way, whether it's getting to the rim and getting fouled or hitting a big shot. You've got to stop the momentum of Cleveland, because they'll suddenly go from a 4 or 5 point game to a 12 to 14 point lead.
Williams with the lead for O'Neal, and he's held. So Shaq will go to the line.
Fouls on E. That's his 3rd. First team foul.
That is number 3 on E.
2 shots.
He wrapped up O'Neal. Shaq is 1 of 3 at the line. As we mentioned earlier, he has struggled this season even more than in the past at 47% at the foul line. 10 points for O'Neal. And the Nets, it is game 6 of a 7-game homestand. They won the other night against the Knicks after losing the first 4. They'll finish up Tuesday night against the Bucks. And then a 3-game road trip at Atlanta, New Orleans, and San Antonio. Harris with the step.
Devin Harris.
Baseline flip shot by Harris.
And that's the basket that you need to stop the little run that the Cavaliers have gotten on. You get yourself back in control of the offensive end. Now defensively, you must rebound the basketball against Cleveland.
Drop step by Shaq. Trying to go with the scoop. Hickson looking to save it, stepped out. So the Nets are back in possession.
We've seen Kiki Vanderway 3 times in a row now put the ball in E's hand at the offensive end of the floor, trying to start through him, and a little bit of pressure there by Hickson forces the turnover. The ball bounces off the net, out of bounds. They'll go back to Cleveland.
Kiki Vanderway does not agree with the call. As James trying to take advantage, got it in bounds, but E with the block on Parker. Williams open for 3. He's been off and rebounded by E. Lee for 3. Williams leaves it for James. Parker is open for 3. Anthony Parker among the leaders in 3-point shooting at 47% for the season. The Cavaliers as a team shoot 42 from downtown. Right behind the leaders, the Phoenix Suns. E fires it up. Lopez with the rebound and fouled by Parker.
And that's what Brook Lopez has to do. Work extra hard on the offensive board. Come up with those offensive rebounds, second shot opportunities. Then he'll get fouled to get some easy stickbacks, and it'll make the half-court offense that much easier for him.
Brook Lopez, 2 shots.
So Lopez to the line for the first time.
Back and look at that inbounds pass. There's the shove that time. Little right leg into the back of him, and Hickson puts the hand in. It's deflected. And official says off his body, gives it back to Cleveland.
And the net argument was that Hickson committed a foul. That's why you saw Kiki, Del Harris upset. 12 points for Brook Lopez. It's a 5-point Cleveland lead. Matinee basketball here at the IZOD Center. Nets and Cavaliers meeting for the second time this season. Parker, Hickson flying in, trying to convert the rebound. Terrence Williams had just checked back in. Nice pass to Eve, blocked from behind by Hickson.
Just needed to use a little pump fake to get the defender up and then finish.
Here's James. That should have been a travel. He stumbled. Eve now defending on James. James for 3. Here comes Terrence Williams. It's a 3-on-1. Williams for Douglas Robinson. He's turned back by LeBron James.
LeBron James. How many times have we seen him do that this season? Hustling back on defense, taking away what looks like a sure layup. Williams can go left or right, decides to go right. James is there for the reject.
And the net shooting difficulties continue here in the third quarter. Just 1 of 9 from the field. They opened up shooting very well, dropped off in the second. Harris making 1 of 10.
You can't get a much better shot than that. We're talking about a 16, 17-footer, no defender near him because the defense is going underneath the screen right now.
Here's James for O'Neal. Thought he had a teammate. It is chased down. Shot clock to 5. Parker, played by Williams, shoots over him and draws the foul. Foul committed by Terrence Williams.
Yeah, it looked like he may have gotten part of his arm on that one. He's trying to crowd him to take away the jump shot. When he elevates on this, we'll see if in fact he comes across his arm. He goes up right there on the arm. Clearly a foul.
Fouled in 3-point territory, so Parker to the line. He's not shot well this afternoon, just 1 of 6 from the field. Anthony Parker in his 7th NBA season out of Bradley, signed as a free agent after spending the last 3 years with the Raptors. This after much success playing in Israel, leading Maccabi Tel Aviv to 3 EuroLeague titles. 2-time MVP of the EuroLeague Finals. Anthony, the older brother of Candace Parker, the 2008 WNBA Most Valuable Player, and the biggest lead of the night, I should say of the day, for the Cavaliers. I was really trying so hard, but you know, I gear it for Nets Encore. So, you know, that's played later on in evening hours. So, nice pump fake and a foul is called on O'Neal.
And Shaq made sure that Brook Lopez was not going to get that shot up on the rim. You mentioned the Parkers, Candace, right? The sister, kind of like the Miller family.
Yes.
Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller.
Reggie gets very upset, Reggie, our partner on TNT, when it is mentioned because, okay, he doesn't buy the comparison with Cheryl, who some consider the greatest college player in women's basketball of all time.
Yes, sensational.
And Reggie certainly doesn't care for the comparison with Anthony Parker. He's a nice player, but not Reggie Miller. So you have insulted the entire Miller family.
No, I have not. I was just trying to bring up it was another brother and sister duo playing pro basketball.
Yeah, but you were making a comparison.
Is Reggie Miller a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
It took a little time to answer that.
No, there was no time.
I had no question.
There was no time. If I had talked quicker, I would have stepped over your statement. 6-point lead for the Cavaliers. Nice pass. James with the setup for Hickson.
And that's why Hickson has come into the starting lineup, because Varejao gives him energy, but he does not make perimeter shots with the regularity that Hickson does. Hickson had given him a stretch of terrific offensive performances back about 2 weeks ago. So Hickson goes into the starting lineup, then they bring Varejao in for defense and rebounding.
Oh, what a fake by Lopez. 57-51. Cavaliers. 5.5 to go in the third. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello. On a dribbling here by Mo Williams, and converts.
Well, he dribbled an awful long way to get that shot off, didn't he? He started on the left side, under the backboard, came out the right side, back to the middle again for the little in-between jumper.
12 points for Williams. Lopez going backdoor. A precise pass handled by Douglas Roberts.
You can see LeBron James show a little bit of frustration on his face that time. That's the third backdoor layup for Chris Douglas Roberts. Tough guarding guys when they move it out the ball so well.
12 points for Douglas Roberts. Here is O'Neal. Lopez stepped away, did not want to pick up the foul. Williams on the follow.
Shaq just held Lopez back behind him so Brook couldn't even jump to block the shot.
Last year in Phoenix, Shaq was going up, at least in practice, against Brook Lopez's brother Robin, who was the backup center for the Suns. Here's Lopez firing one up and a foul. Good move by Lopez.
See a little backdoor action right here by Chris Douglas Roberts. Third one against LeBron James. We have 6 passes. It starts out, there's the one. Shaq touches it, kicks it back out again. Little dribble penetration. Swing it, LeBron. And then the last guy at the end, Hickson, the 5th guy, touching the basketball, finishes it off with a dunk.
Shaquille O'Neal taking a seat, 10 points. 20 minutes of play, 2 personal fouls. Anderson Varejao checks back in. He played well in the first half. So here is Lopez, 4 of 4 at the line.
Remember we mentioned earlier Shaquille O'Neal averaging a little over 22 minutes a game. His numbers are 10 points, 7 rebounds a game, but having a guy like Brook Lopez allows the Cavaliers to play Shaq more minutes if they so desire tonight, because you have that big body for the Nets.
(61-54). Cavs with the ball and the lead. Shot clock to 7. Pass intended for Varejao, picked off. James is back. Here's Douglas Roberts. Blocked again by James. Lee with the follow. E is on it. And let's see what the call is about. Derek Collins, the official, saying on the Cavaliers. Douglas Roberts, who was blocked a moment ago, intent. He saw James to his side, went to the left hand, and James got a piece of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put it up. He's so good, so athletic, so quick, and he jumps so well that he's going to get it either side he went up with. LeBron was waiting for him.
Hawker on the foul, so E at the line. He has not shot well, just 1 of 9 from the field. He's playing very well since returning from that sprained ligament in his right knee. Delonte West coming back from Mo Williams. 14 points for Williams.
Let's watch Chris Douglas Roberts, because when he landed, he turned that ankle and he's limping somewhat now, heading back down the floor. That may have to get him out of here quickly to have the trainer look at it.
Sat out 3 games after spraining the ankle. Yeah, he's hobbling. Good job by Lee, got a piece of it. Josh Boone will come on for E.
Now watch the left ankle when he comes down. There's the block shot. Watch it kind of right there. Okay, you see it. And that's where he's living right now.
When he was out, it was the right ankle. Keon Dooling has returned. Douglas Roberts trying to walk it off. West just did beat the shot clock. So Dooling and Lee in the backcourt. Boone with nowhere to go. Lopez swings in. Rebounded by Lee, and they get the new clock. Lopez tried to dunk and threw the foul.
Good job that time. The effort got him the second shot opportunity. Then they were patient, swung the ball a little bit, got the big man moving to the basket.
Fouls number 17, Anderson Varejao.
Varejao called for the personal. That's
free throw line, 2 shots.
his first. So Lopez back at the line. He's hit 5 of 6.
More great defenses eventually get their teeth into you, and they bring you down to the field goal percentage that they're used to giving up. And you know, we said the Cleveland defense at the top of the league as far as defensive field goal percentage goes. Nets shooting over 47% at halftime. Now they're down at 40%.
Cavaliers allow about 101 a game. Nets back within 4. Just under 3 to go in the third quarter.
And after shooting that 47%, the Nets are just 3 of 15 now in this quarter.
Varejao lost the handle. Lopez took it away and is fouled by Varejao.
And only because he lost the handle on that one. LeBron had given him a nice dish off on the bounce pass. He couldn't come up with it.
Cavaliers are over the limit, so when we come back, the Nets will head to the line.
LeBron looking one way, bouncing the other way. Varejao couldn't find the handle. And save a layup with the block shot.
See the stat line. All 15 points in the first half. LeBron coming off the season-high 48 on the win over Atlanta the other night.
Lopez, 2 shots.
LeBron James, incidentally, averaging just 19 shots a game. He's taken only 8 shots thus far here this afternoon. But 19 a game is the fewest since his rookie year, which tells you something about the supporting cast, and he's always looking to set people up. And he's averaging 8 assists a game, which is a high number.
Yeah, most small forwards, you don't see them averaging, 7, 8 assists per game, because your small forward position generally on most teams is a scoring position for that basketball team. But his unselfishness, his IQ, basketball IQ, willingness to give it up to win games. So
here's James on the move, and Varejao is right there.
It's not the 3rd or 4th time from the same position. It was Hickson a while ago. Varejao, that 4 spot power forward, continues to follow the shots down the middle and come up with second shot opportunities.
8 points, 10 rebounds for Varejao. Lee, yes. 7 points for Courtney Lee. 63-60. Cleveland with 2 minutes to play in the third. Here's James going at Lopez. Late whistle and a foul on Lopez. Lopez helping out because James was able to blow by Hassel.
And I think Brook would have been fine if he just extended the arm straight up. I don't think LeBron would have made it, but he comes down a little bit, I think, right at the end. You see his right hand on the shoulder there, and then the left hand winds up hitting LeBron in the face at the end.
Third on Lopez. James now 8 of 9 at the line. And that is his first point of the third quarter. And now Tony Battie will come on for Brook Lopez. Battie defensively had a difficult time when Shaq was on the floor.
And you saw Lopez, when they took him out of the game, go right over to Roy Rogers, the big man coach, and talking to him a little about, what did I do there? What can I do differently? But he's in good shape as far as fouls go. He only has 3 now, and they're approaching the end of this third quarter.
3 apiece on Lopez and E for the Cavaliers. 3 on Mo Williams. Lee played by Parker. Battie really have that picked off. Sloppy sequence here by the Nets. Dooling gets inside for the fadeaway, rebounded by James. LeBron putting a move on Hassel, who got picked off by Ilgauskas. Good job by Parker to slow Lee down.
Parker's a very good individual defender.
Boone, not his shot. And here's it from the crowd as James is hit by Doolin. So the crowd disappointed. They wanted to see LeBron with the breakaway.
Poor Keon Dooling fouls LeBron. The crowd boos him. Did a smart play.
Yeah.
Did not allow him to take the fast break opportunity. Watch how fast he's going. Right here, you see him try to change direction. Dooling fouls him.
Good foul by Keon, and James to the line because the Nets are over the limit.
I couldn't tell whether it happened so fast. Did he walk or not, LeBron, as he caught the ball and changed it over? Would he take a couple steps in there?
Well, an alert production crew will show the replay, and we'll be able to tell. And you put the pressure on. So the Cavaliers now lead it by 6. We'll get back to that play in a moment. With a minute left in the third. Petit at the high post, played by Varejao. And Lee turns and fires one up. Boone missed on the tip. Boone with the save. Petit is fouled. Nice job by Josh Boone. That'll send Petit to the line. Foul on Ilgauskas. That's his third. All right, here's that play that you requested.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a travel.
Yes.
I thought so. You obviously doubted me again, but
I did not.
I thought it was a travel.
I'm nodding yes. You see, you try to turn things. It's terrible. Tony Petit, who has not played much, been out with knee problem, is only his 8th game of the season. Here's James coming up short on a three-point attempt. The save by Gibson. LeBron again comes right back to hit the three.
Yeah, and that's one of the spots before the game when he was warming up. The deep left corner, deep right corner, and he shot a lot of three-point attempts with their assistant coaches.
The Nets are down by 8. As the third quarter comes to a close, Petit. Final seconds, Cavaliers hold for the last shot of the quarter. Count of 3, 2, James for 3. After 3, it's the Cavaliers 69 and the Nets 61. Ten of the 18 points coming at the foul line. They were 10 for 14 at the line. Primarily, Brook Lopez doing it.
That 47% that they were shooting at halftime went down to 40, as we mentioned. Now it's down to 38% starting the fourth quarter. So they've just got to make a few shots here to keep themselves hanging in this game.
That's facing a Cavalier team that has won 6 straight, 11 of its last 12. They have the best record in the East at 26-8. And you can see how the defense has picked up in the second half. E way off. And the ball is deflected out. Last touched by Hassel.
And you can also see how much attention they have paid to E tonight after the string of games that he's had scoring the basketball. They get up very close on him. They do not want to get him settled in to making jump shots. And right now, E from the floor, just 1 of 10.
Daniel Gibson is back on the floor, guarded by Trenton Hassel. Shaq has returned, backing his way, draws the double. Here is Williams. He's been hot. He's really picked it up. Biggest lead of the game for the Cavaliers, up by 10. Mo Williams with 16 points. LeBron James, the high man for the Cavs, with 21. LeBron on the bench getting a rest. Douglas Roberts able to battle his way in, and it's back tap. Here comes Williams. Looking to draw the foul, but Harris did not go for it. West, Williams, and Gibson in a 3-guard set used here by Mike Brown. Varejao off the pretty lead pass. And this one is getting away. It's a 12-point lead for the Cavaliers, and the Nets take a timeout.
And that's what they're capable of doing, is suddenly putting on a little spurt, hit 3 or 4 baskets in a row. They know their defense is very consistent, so they're going to get stops against you. This time, as Varejao sets the up screen, he rolls to the open pocket area, bounce pass right where he needs it to finish. For E, and obviously they're playing against a very good defense. Here he is with the long three-pointer, finally hits one.
The Nets had closed the gap to 61-58 with just under 3 left in the third. Then Cleveland went on a 12-3 run. Ball is away from the ball. It is on Hassel. Here comes Dooling replacing Hassel. It's a non-shooting foul.
You know, I realize I said tonight a couple of times. I just wanted to confuse you.
3 times within one sentence, which is actually a new NBA record.
Is it a record?
For an afternoon game.
Okay, that's
yes. But I know for Encore tonight, when the game is shown again here on the Yes Network,
I'll be right on.
You'll look like, wow, how did he do that?
It was coming.
It'd be amazing. How did he do that? Here is Shaq way off on a jump hook. And it's saved by West. Good hustle. O'Neal with a strong drive cannot hit. Varejao kept it alive and a foul. No, he deflected it out. Varejao lost it. He has got to be so annoying and so difficult to play against, but what a valuable guy Anderson Varejao.
He doesn't stop moving. There's not a time when he is not active on the floor. He brings them the energy that they need. He's just that piece that you need to make it a great team.
Shot clock is down to 6. Dooling, rebounded by O'Neal. Varejao running the floor, spins around E. E looks to save it, but was out of bounds.
That might have been his best offensive display, Varejao. He hit a 3, okay, at the end of the last game to win it, and we saw a little pullback reverse dribble that time. Almost had the finish.
We've seen a couple of spin moves by Varejao. In his last game, he hit that 3-point shot, a big one against Atlanta. Shaq having his difficulty. And here comes Harris racing across. Harris all the way.
Give me your assessment. Joakim Noah versus Anderson Varejao.
Very similar players. And Noah perhaps a little more effective in terms of back taps. Varejau's right there. Noah has, I think, a more offensive skills, although he, as Varejao goes in with the driving hook, rebounded by O'Neal. But there's a lot of similarities between the two. Then a foul is called on Douglas Roberts.
The reason I ask is because there are those pieces that you talk about that teams look for, and other players on their team thrive off of the energy that they give them just by being as active as they are during the game.
But as you say, Varejao is so important on a high-caliber team, a contending team. I think if Noah were on a better team, he would get even more credit. Here's Varejao with a series of moves, and he scores.
He must be hearing us over there because he's taking over offensively.
Well, he's improved in terms of taking it to the rim.
Joakim Noah has improved offensively as well.
75-66 Cavaliers. Shot clock down to 7. Well, this time they saw the backdoor pass coming, and Lopez called for the hack. Picks up number 4.
Yeah, pretty good defender. And you have Delonte West in there. He's tough to beat, even on the backdoor cut that time. West opened up and was able to get a piece of it. There's West getting beat, but he opens, reaches, gets it, and then you watch Lopez hustling back not to give up the layup.
So Mo Williams to the line. Mo emerging as an all-star last season, first year with Cleveland, and struggled in the playoffs, did not shoot well.
Go back to that sequence we just showed with West. That was almost one of those picture-perfect execution at the defensive end of denying a player. The player runs a backdoor on you. You open up to the basketball so you can see it come up with the steal, exactly what Delonte West did.
Dooling for three. Keon Dooling missed his first 4 shots. 77-69 Cavaliers. Only the second 3 this afternoon for the Nets. West able to squeeze his way.
Yeah, he converts around the rim where you don't think he's going to get up as high as he does, and he's not overly tall, but yet when he gets close to the rim, he has a knack for finishing.
Harris is held. He tried to finish, but he was fouled. He'll head to the line.
Fouls number 33, Shaquille
O'Neal picks up his 3rd.
This third, first team foul, 5 quarter. Devin Harris, 2 shots.
Shaq has now played 25 minutes. And has played well.
Like Mike Brown said, it doesn't have to be a 20 and 10 guy for our team to be good. He's got a role here. He's kind of fit into the role extremely well. He said, I think I can expand the offense more to include and take advantage of his passing ability. And he said, we'll do a little more experimentation as we go along here to try him doing different things for us.
10.6 rebounds for Shaq. O'Neal going against Lopez, who has the 4 fouls. Now Williams for 3. One-handed by Lopez. Douglas Roberts got it high off glass with Varejao moving in his direction.
That was a most difficult shot that time by Chris Douglas Roberts. Catching it alone was difficult, but to get a shot up over the defender, kiss it off the glass like that.
14 points for Douglas Roberts, and the Cavalier lead is down to 6. Gibson for Varejao. O'Neal is hit by E. That's 4 on E.
But he looked over immediately, E, to the bench. Kiki Vandeweghe saying, good, you did your job. You didn't give up a layup. Watch this tough shot. Defender steps up. Varejao comes at him next, right off the square on the glass. There you see now the ability of keeping the big men off the glass so difficult with Shaquille O'Neal and Varejao on the inside.
Shaq just 2 of 5 at the line. LeBron James checking back in. We will see Zydrunas Ilgauskas shortly. He will come on for O'Neal. There is the big Z. Well, Shaq hits both. 81-73. Cavaliers with the lead. Nets had the early advantage, led by as many as 9. Here's Dooling for 3. Hit one just a moment ago, rebounded by O'Neal. Halfway through the 4th quarter. The Nets are down by 8. Douglas Roberts once again defending on James. Williams. Douglas Roberts on it, and it's, let's see. It's like a foul is called on the Cavaliers. It's on Varejao, who's scrambling for the ball with Douglas Roberts.
Yeah, you can go after a loose ball, but what the officials say that you can't be diving into the opponent's player. So here's the loose ball. Chris Douglas Roberts gets on it right there. Varejao around the neck. Good foul.
LeBron 5 of 13 from the field, 10 of 12 at the line. He has 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Lopez and E each playing with 4 fouls. Lopez now guarded by Ilgauskas. Gets it inside to E, and he's tripped up. Foul committed by Mo Williams. Third team foul on the Cavs. The Nets have 4 team fouls.
And I was just about to say, coming out of that timeout, that the Cavs only had 2 team fouls at that moment, and you want to try and get into that bonus situation to get to the foul line if you're the Nets.
Harris to the fade, and he's fouled. He was bumped. Mo Williams again. That's number 5 on Mo.
Yeah, good job that time. He felt the contact, elevated immediately. Hoped that the shot would have gone in, but he gets a chance now to put 2 more up on the board and cut into this 8-point lead.
Well, Harris had hit his previous 4, and he's a 78% free throw shooter. Anthony Parker back. Comes on from Mo Williams. Williams had the hot hand in the second half. He sits down with 18 points. 1 of 2 for Harris, and the Cavalier lead is now 7. Backcourt now Parker and Gibson. Here is Gibson for 3. Dueling played by Parker. Douglas Roberts. Yes.
That's doing a good job that time. They were patient. They got their people in the positions they want. They kept their spacing, which is so important against Cleveland's defense, that you don't creep in, inch in towards the rim. You must keep your spacing.
Here's James going at Lopez. The tip missed by Varejao, and a foul. It is on Varejao. Or perhaps Ilgauskas. It is Varejao. And it puts the Cavaliers over the foul limit.
He'll be at the free throw line.
So 4:39 remaining in this fourth quarter, and each of the line is 3 of 4 at the line.
Throws becoming a problem. Look at the last bucket here. Watch the spacing of the Nets behind that 3-point line, spread out. That really spreads the defense out, and then rotating up to the open spot. Chris Douglas Roberts, good job in their execution that time.
He knocks down 1 of 2. The Cavaliers led by as many as 12. It was 73-61. Since then, the Nets have outscored Cleveland 16-8, and they are within 4 with 4.5 to play in the fourth. Gibson with a nice setup for James.
You see that same play on a routine basis almost every game now for Cleveland, where they drive that left side, get under the backboard, and James dives to the open spot, and he's a terrific target to look for.
Douglas Roberts trying to put a move on James. Went to the crossover, has to save it. Here's E for 3, way off. And another scramble, and this will be a jump ball.
Jump ball.
Series of head fakes attempted by Chris Douglas Roberts. LeBron James did not go for it, but it's been another solid game for Douglas Roberts.
Yeah, and James was tired of all the head fakes and ball fakes off the dribble, so he just basically stuck the hand there and waited for Chris Douglas Roberts to bring the ball back into his hand.
Courtney Lee checks back in, comes on for Keon Dooling.
Now you have to cover your backcourt now, because you know that Zydrunas Ilgauskas should win this tip. So you want to make sure that you have balance here in the backcourt.
Douglas Roberts about 6'6", going against the 7'3" Ilgauskas. And it is controlled by the Cavaliers. Cavaliers back home for a 6 o'clock game tomorrow night against Charlotte. Another home game against Washington, followed by a 5-game Western swing. Here is Ilgauskas. Rebounded by Douglas Roberts.
they like to do with Ilgauskas at the end of games. They run pick and rolls, but he's stepping back to the open spot, and they have great confidence in his perimeter shooting ability.
There's Harris on a nice move. Rebounded by Varejao. How about Ilgauskas last week against Sacramento? Hit 3 consecutive three-pointers in an overtime win. Gibson for 3. Daniel Boobie Gibson, among the leaders in three-point shooting, has not gotten the playing time as of late. And that's a big bucket. Douglas Roberts gives it right back. Lopez lost it. And here's James. They try to tie him up. They were not able to. Will he get the continuation? Yes, he does.
That is an amazing example of the strength of this young man. You see his teammates coming out to meet him on the floor. He had 2 red jerseys hanging on him in the end, trying to take him down so he couldn't get it up. You see James comes up with it. 1, 2, still gets it on the rim and finishes. Just made happen by chasing down the ball, number 1, coming up with it. He knows he has 2 defenders hot on his trail. 1 fouls him, 2 fouls him. He still gets it up there, lays it in and scores, and now goes to the free throw line.
And Czar James now with 14,000 career points at the age of 25, the youngest player in NBA history to reach that plateau. For the game, he has 26 points. 8-0 run here by the Cavaliers. Nets made a move. Cavaliers come right back, and they lead it by 12 with just under 2.5 remaining in the 4th. Here's Lee for 3. And a foul. He looking for the putback. Foul by Varejao. LeBron James on his birthday last Wednesday celebrated with 48 points, a season high. Do you know what the NBA record is for a player scoring most points on his birthday?
I do.
Would you share it with us?
Well, that player happens to be playing tonight in this, or this afternoon, I should say, in this building.
You're so confused.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal on his birthday one time had some enormous number, like over 60, I think, a little bit over 60.
61.
It was close.
Career high against the Clippers. Very good. Again, you had help, but it's still very good. Varejao not able to hit. You have that help line going at all times. But 61 points, the most by an NBA player on his birthday. Your man, Dominique Wilkins, had 53 on his birthday, and in '87, were you coaching?
I was, yes.
At the time, yeah.
Wasn't invited to the party that night, but I was.
It's still bitter,
coaching.
too. Parker on the foul, and here is Lee. Michael Jordan once had a 46-point game on his birthday. That's all I have. That's it.
Pretty good information.
Just under 2 remaining. In this 4th quarter, the Nets with a solid first half, led most of the way, down by 1 at the half. Came out shooting well in the 1st quarter. Different story in the 2nd half. Cavalier defense tightening up. He not able to hit a shot, which certainly contributed. And LeBron James with another outstanding game. Mo Williams came on in the 2nd half. Foul is on Lopez. Neither club shooting well. The Cavs right around 40%. The Nets have dropped down to 38. So LeBron back to the line. He's 11 of 13.
And just to show the great depth that this Cavaliers team has. Remember, you were saying a short while ago, Mike Brown has such confidence in his team. You were talking about Mo Williams, what a solid game he was having. Mike Brown took Mo Williams out of the game with 18 points with about 5 minutes remaining in a relatively close game, and then he's gone the rest of the way with Gibson, who's played very well.
Well, Williams had 5 fouls, so wanted to save him just in case.
In case he needed to bring him back in the end. But there's depth here. There's a guy that can come in and they don't lose a whole lot when you take the one guy out.
But the question will be once again, which may tie into what... Oh, look away from James. It counts on the foul. There's the play of the game right there. Varejao with the bucket set up by James on the look-away pass, and Varejao will go to the line.
That's what coaches talk about, getting to learn each other, knowing how to play with your teammates. LeBron knows exactly where Varejao is on the baseline. He looks right, passes left, drops it on the floor. Varejao with the finish. It goes in, and the opportunity for a three-point play.
I started to say the question, though, as you look down the road, is number one, how far can the Cavaliers go in the postseason, which could lead to what LeBron ends up doing after the season. Last year they won 66 games, best record in the NBA, 66-16, and James blocking it, although there was a foul before that, the block shot. LeBron showing the lively legs. Watch this.
Yeah, he is not going to let Devin Harris have an opportunity to get a lucky bounce as he got control of the ball back again.
It was Gibson who had committed the foul before the block, and LeBron hears it from the crowd as he sits down. But last year, Cleveland with a franchise best 66 wins. And then in the postseason they swept Detroit, then Atlanta, but in the Eastern Conference Finals they lost to Orlando in 6.
And thusly the move to go out and bring in Shaquille O'Neal to have someone to try and contend with Dwight Howard at the center position. So is it a gamble? Yeah, it is a gamble. Okay, Phoenix had tried it the year before to see if it would work for them. I think the big difference though is Phoenix made such a dramatic change in their style of play when they brought him in, and everybody else had to change how they were playing with Shaq on the floor. A little bit different here in Cleveland.
Yes, this is a team that goes at a slightly different pace than the Suns. Final minute of play. Cavaliers on their way to a 7th straight win and 12 of the last 13. Darnell Jackson, second-year man from Kansas, has come on for the first time. Jamario Moon also back. Jawad Williams, second-year player out of North Carolina, has come on for the first time for the Cavaliers. Parker gets the pick from Williams. Here is Williams over E, rebounded by Lopez. And that will wrap it up. Final seconds. Harris for 3. With 5 seconds to go, Cavaliers will not even walk it up. Cleveland Cavaliers make it 2 out of 2 this season over the New Jersey Nets, 94-86. The final score, and the Nets drop to 3-30. While the Cavaliers, with the best record in the East, go to 27-8. They also have the second best record in the NBA. Only the Lakers are better.